get in here, you don't want to miss us giving you the business. With your host, Candace B.
It's your girl, world famous Candace B, and I'm your podcast host for Giving You the Business. Today we have Miss Brandi, who's going to give us a special treat. And before we get started, Miss Brandi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi, my name is Brandi. I've been in Raleigh for about 32 years. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I graduated from North Carolina Central with a degree in accounting. I've been doing taxes since 2008. Now I do a lot of different things now, but I am the mother of two children, one who is now deceased. But I adopted one after mine was deceased, so but I still am the mother of two kids.
Yeah.
Just enjoy traveling, and that's just me.
Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more personal at the end of this interview. And thank you for explaining that. So jumping into these questions, do you need an account degree to open a tax business?
You definitely do not. What I do say is you need to be educated.
Okay.
You do not have to have any kind of degree at all to start a tax business, which they tried to change a law where you would have to be certified, but you do not.
Okay, so that does bring me to what legal documents and certifications are required before opening a tax business. So you don't need anything to get started as far as a diploma or certificate, but you do got to have something to open up a business.
You do have to have, file papers with the Secretary of State to open up the tax business. You have to file certain things to be able to order, to have tax refund products.
Okay.
But actually, anyone can open a tax business.
Okay, y'all heard that, right? Anybody can open a tax business. I play around with taxes. I got like 3 people I filed their taxes for them. But it's so scary because I don't have no insurance up under my soul. I thought I was supposed to have education. I ain't got no education up under my belt. So that's good to know because I know the knowledge of doing it. Just the surface stuff, not what you back here doing. But that's good to know. That's a good start. That's a good start. Okay, let's see what we got going on. So you're saying you don't need anything, but you definitely need to just know what your state requires.
Yes.
All right, got you down on that. And then, do you have any employees? If so, how specifically did you recruit them? What made you get these specific guys?
Okay, the crazy thing about it is when I first graduated from Central, I got offers from all the big accounting firms. But as I went through the interviews, I saw how the partners looked, they didn't look happy. So what I said was, okay, I want something that I can do to have time to deal with my children. My son played football. I was pregnant with my daughter when I graduated college. So I said, okay, what I can do is I can start a tax business. So when I first recruited people to work with me, I don't say for me, with me were people that I had known for a while and people that I graduated college with.
Okay, that makes sense.
So what I wanted them to understand is I don't want to be the only person getting rich. So I brought them in as partners more so than employees.
That makes sense. So I love that. That's what we all about. So you're networking with people you went to school with, that you personally know, and you're like, hey, I'm about to make this money. I want them to make it with me going into the game. What I always preach is networking. If you know somebody, trying to help them out or put your products in their store. So I commend Miss Brandi because she's on point with what we're doing. She took her people and not make them employees, but she put them on the roster so they can make the same income as well. I love that. I'm about to get on y'all team too. Are individuals that do taxes get paid by the hour like a 9 to 5, or do they pay space like roof rent? Can you go into detail on that process?
Okay, with me, because I knew the pay schedule for like Liberty, H&R Block. So what they do is they only pay back when I researched it. They only pay their employees maybe $10 to $11 an hour back then.
Can I stop? I'm sorry for cutting you off because why do they charge? When I started working since I was 16, I can tell you when I was going after our taxes for H&R Block, they was taking $200 out then.
And that was good.
That was back then when I was 16. I'm 35 now. So now, right now, I'm noticing they're saying people taking like $500 out. That's a big dip in my income taxes. If I'm only bringing in $1,000. So that's what made me start looking into doing my own taxes. I do cheap, use a little software and do it myself. But if something happens, I'm gonna need to come to you. But what I did notice that they get that little fee and included, but then they probably making like minimum wage in the office.
Exactly. And so that's how they do it. They charge you a crazy amount. Their employees are not paid that much. So when I started my business,
So they don't care about your information. I'd be scared to give them my information right now. They ain't making minimum wage, and I mean, yeah, they're not gonna care about your stuff. It's not gonna be that serious for them. So that's from the look. I believe in scamming. I'm gonna probably ask the question later on, but that'll already sound like a scam. No, people don't care about child taxes. You better take it to the real deal.
And so the pay schedule I wanted to do, because like I said, when I brought people on when I started this business, I wanted it to be more like a partnership. Not you work for me, not I'm your boss, because I'm a horrible boss. So I brought people in at an equal percentage as myself.
Okay.
So whatever you brought to the table, your fee was 50%. I gave you 50% of your fee. Because again, I didn't want to be the only one getting rich. I wanted you to be motivated to get clients, because if you're getting 50% and you're not paying any kind of expenses, you're going to be motivated to get clients.
Right.
And so I never have paid the people that work with me an hourly fee, because at the end of the day, I think that's robbing them, and that's having them less motivated to get clients if I'm going to pay you hourly. So again, they really got a commission, and they still do get a commission off of their own.
Yeah, I fight harder for a commission. That makes more sense. Okay. So giving them a way to make money coming in the team with you as well as making their own. That sounds great, like a great plan. What are different ways to make money with the tax business outside of taxes?
Okay, so you have bookkeeping, and what a lot of people, especially with this new the COVID situation, everyone wants to start a business. So with helping people learn how to start a business, giving them the information about how to structure their business. So a lot of it, the way I made money outside of tax season was basically bookkeeping.
Okay.
And showing people how to get their business started and how to keep proper paperwork, so at the end of the year you don't be stressed, preparing them like if they do get audited by the IRS.
Okay, so do you have any specific business you reaching out to them? Who would you reach to bookkeeping in?
Okay, so some businesses that I have done bookkeeping for is clubs.
Okay, that makes sense. Y'all in North Carolina, strip
hair salons.
Okay, hair salons, that makes sense.
Restaurants.
Okay, restaurants.
Things like that.
Okay, so here we go. Yes, somebody can help out outside of tax season with bookkeeping, so strip clubs, restaurants, as well. Everyone should just name. All right, that sounds good to me. I need some help as well. All right. Did you start your business with your own money, or did you get a loan?
I did, my own money. I don't believe in borrowing without a specific way to pay it back.
Okay.
So when I started, and honestly speaking, and what people fail to realize is most service businesses, you don't have to pay a lot of money to get started.
Right.
So my overhead basically was my software, getting hooked up with the bank, doing my LLC. So I started my business with probably less than $2,000.
Oh, you're the first person. Okay, so I love that. So we all know how to get an LLC. So I did a couple of more interviews. So we're learning, and so we know how to go get our EIN, do an LLC. Like she mentioned, she knows she needed software. So she had the software, and she's telling us we can start around $2,000, and that'll get us started with doing taxes. That's awesome. That's awesome. What I do believe in, what is stopping us, we believe that I'm gonna need the money to do this. Just want to do it. That's what I'm learning. Want to do it. If you want to do it, you're gonna do it. I gotta back up one of my questions. Far as with the business, outside of taxes, you told me you was doing bookkeeping. Outside of taxes, what service is most frequently requested? Is it just bookkeeping?
Yeah, bookkeeping and just how to keep proper records.
Okay.
Because most business owners are not numbers people. They just know they want to start something, they know they want to do something, they know how they want to do it. But they don't understand that you have to have numbers whether you do eventually want to go to a bank and get a loan. You have to have the proper paperwork. You can't keep saying that you're not making anything.
Right.
Because no bank is going to loan you any money if you're not making anything. So just the biggest thing is learning how to keep proper accounting records.
She She just said, there's nothing else I can say after that. She shut me up. What keeps your tax business thriving outside of tax season? I just keep coming back to outside of tax season.
The crazy thing is, when I first started, I never felt like I was a people person.
Okay.
But I had to be a people person. So what people tell me that's been coming to me year after year after year, even though sometimes I'm slow as the dickens, they like the personal feel. They like that I answer my phone after tax season.
Right.
So if you have a question as small as how do I fill out a W-4 form for a job,
right,
I'll answer. How do I fill out my child's financial aid form for college?
Right.
I'll answer those questions. So it's just like I said, staying informed about the business that you're doing, staying educated, and so when people ask you a question, you don't have to be like, let me look that up. You can answer it.
That's what it's about. So giving the hospitality, having the experience, being knowledgeable in your craft. Yeah. What has been the most challenging part about running a tax business?
People.
And then you found that taxes the day they calling you tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they calling you tomorrow. I need a direct number to the IRS right now. I need to speak to a live agent. No, I definitely understand. Customer service is giving you a run for your money.
But I'm so blunt.
Okay.
And that's what people love about me. They like or love about me too. Because I'm like, listen, it's one of y'all. It's one of me.
Yeah.
It's a million of y'all.
Yep.
If I was a tax preparer that can spit you your refund amount,
I
I would be scared.
Yeah.
Because that means that you're paying attention to my refund.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on now. I just filed your taxes yesterday. You have your paperwork.
At least 21 days. At least give them people 21 days, y'all, before y'all start calling them. They'll call the bank on day 4. 21 days. I can relate to you on that way. I'm sorry you're going through that. Get a tax people at least 21 days, y'all, please. After you file your taxes, wait 21 days for you call people. If something wrong, you're going to get a letter from the IRS.
Exactly.
They're going to let you know. What do you enjoy most about running the tax business?
People.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, I have met so many different types of people in this situation. People that make me want to punch them in the face. People that make me love them. And what I enjoy the most is if, say back in 2008, I had a client that was struggling, that was really down in their luck. And to see their progression over all these years, and now we're at 2022, they have their own business, they're taking care of their kids. That's what I love.
Shout out to that client. I love that too. The growth and seeing her clients grow as well. They're growing with you. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome and wholesome. Have you ever made a mistake and it turned out to be a blessing?
What type of mistake?
Let's see, like
plenty mistakes. I'm plenty.
like you made like you might have mailed something off, and the people that came to you end up filing, like doing it, like you mailed the document off to your neighbors, and they end up coming in like, you mailed this to the wrong place, but matter of fact, let me go on and do my taxes with you while I'm here. Like some of those scenarios you use.
So I've been doing taxes for all these years. You're gonna make mistakes.
Okay.
You're gonna make mistakes on people's taxes by mistake. You're gonna do certain things. And so what I pride myself into, and I can say this just happened last year. I had put an old W-2 on someone's taxes, and the IRS held up their taxes. I did my mistake. I did an amendment form, and I said, what can I do to make this right? And she was like, I need my money. I said, okay. How much money can I loan you out of my personal money to make it right until you get your refund? Because this is my fault.
Right.
She told me the number. I sent it through her on Zelle as soon as she asked me for it. And she was like, you know what, I appreciate what you did, because you didn't. Most people wouldn't have done it.
Right.
But I knew I made a mistake.
Right. Right.
So at the end of the day, whatever she had asked me for, it was semi-reasonable, but I mean, it is what it is because I made that mistake.
Right.
So I rectified it, and I said, it's going to happen. That's why I tell, because I train people to own their own tax businesses.
Right.
I tell people, don't be hard on yourself when you make a mistake. You're human. But as a business owner, you have to do your best to rectify the mistake you made
Mhm.
and tell the client, I'm sorry, I'm
Mhm.
human, I'm sorry.
Right.
And then do the right
Do
thing.
the
Don't
right thing.
ignore them. Don't say tough luck. Just make it right by your customer.
That I love it. Be responsible and take heed to what happened. Try to offer fix the issue.
Oh, then there's one funny thing. It was funny.
Yeah.
So I forgot about this. This was probably about 8 or so years ago. It was a client that it was a young lady working with me, and the client didn't get her tax refund. And so again, the young lady worked with me. So I said, listen, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I said, but I'll give you your whole tax refund.
Uh-huh.
And I paid that out of my money. And to this day, that young lady's still my client.
Right, and because you did it the right way. You did it the right way. People understand it's just how the tone and how the scenario go. Like, really, like, at least try to help me. I know it really ain't your point, but if you had, I don't care, attitude, yeah, I wouldn't come back. Yeah.
Now, I've had some people that told me not to come back.
Yeah, so, as you should. As you should. Tell me something you believe most people don't know about running a business, or a tax business, I should say.
What I think people look at is the fruits of your labor. They look and say, okay, well, she only does taxes 3 months out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. She makes a lot of money. But people don't see the hard work that's put in when you got to stay at work till 5 o'clock in the morning, where you got to make sure everything is good for the government, because we are dealing with the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people think running a business per se anyway is easy. And when I tell you, I haven't had too many jobs, but sometimes it's easier to work a 9 to 5 than to run your own business, because everything fails or succeeds because of you.
What business owners need to know? Like, what would you want to tell a business owner, other, like you said, work hard and stay consistent, probably?
And don't go to school and get a business degree.
To do taxes.
To do anything.
To do anything? Okay.
That is the biggest misconception about being a business owner.
Okay.
You don't need a business degree to start your own business. That is a total waste of money to go to school. Do I say take classes if you want to know more about your business? But if you're doing something you love, you already know what you want that business to look like.
Right.
So why do you need paperwork, or why do you need a professor that knows nothing about your business to tell you how to run your business?
Definitely.
So to me, having a business degree to start or run your business is so natural.
Okay. I'm gonna take heed to that. Why does every business need an account then? Why you need a business account?
Bank account?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for IRS.
Yeah.
Because honestly speaking, because unless your business is a hobby, why would you mix your personal money with your business money?
Okay.
And this is a big thing too that I tell people, because a lot of business owners that do even have business accounts, they'll swipe their business card to go out to eat,
Right.
to go shopping. And so if you ever get audited by the IRS and they come to you and they see Saks Fifth Avenue, they see McDonald's, they see all these different personal expenses on your business account, they're going to say, okay, how can I tell whether or not you're actually doing a business or this is just for your personal? And so you definitely need a business account that you use for only business, nothing else besides business. And I tell people, when you start making money, count up all your bills as a person.
Uh-huh.
You're the business owner, you can pay yourself what you want to pay yourself. But pay yourself like an employee. Write you a payroll check out of your business account, cash it, and use that for whatever you need. Because you're the business owner, so you can pay yourself whatever you want to pay yourself.
Right.
So definitely pay yourself and stay out of that business account with personal stuff.
Gotcha. What should every business owner be doing day to day to prepare of their business taxes? So for me, asking that question, I need to save all of my receipts, make sure I use my business account only for business, and then what?
So the easiest thing is to use your debit card for everything of your business, because your bank statements will have a record of everything you're doing. make complete deposits into your business account. So all your money that you're making is going into that business account. Then whatever you're paying for is coming out of that business account. So when you have your bank statements and that's certified records for the IRS, you can see everything you spent money on.
Okay, your business account that she said you need for your business, make sure you got a debit card attached to your checking savings account, because whatever you put in is what you're taking out. You can pay yourself, put that check into that account, everything for the IRS will be right there. That makes sense. You bookkeeping yourself right now doing that, so that makes plenty of sense. Okay, that's something I didn't know. I'm want to be smarter pants. I ain't know to just strictly use my business.
Or if you want to use cash, you just make sure you keep your receipts. Even because most people are not good bookkeepers, so all you do, throw your receipts in a bag.
Okay.
And then if you want to deal with them at the end of the year, that's what you do. I don't let people bring me a bag of receipts. I make them count them because I'm going to charge you extra because I'm going to have to get somebody else to count them.
Yeah, it's software for that. It's software for you to do that now. You better not come up in here with 2 garbage bags receipts. You will be charged. What are 3 to 5 things that every business owner should know about taxes and accounts?
Okay. First thing people don't know is when you have a business, the IRS gives you 3 years to make a profit on that business.
Okay.
Which makes sense because who's going to stay in business if you're not making a profit?
Right.
So a lot of people continuously like to claim losses on their taxes, especially if you have an LLC or sole proprietorship, because when you claim losses, that helps you on your personal taxes.
Okay.
So, but if you have a loss over those 3 years, the IRS is going to say, why are you still in business?
Oh,
it's a hobby.
Yeah, okay.
Because who stays in business not to make money? So actually understand you should not keep on claiming losses on your taxes. When you know you have arrived, when you are making money, you should be happy to pay the IRS.
Right. File your taxes.
File your taxes.
My
Because
number
they're
one
going to come
joke.
back and get you regardless.
That's my number one joke. I have said this plenty times. I may owe everybody, but who I don't owe is the IRS. I give them folks their money faithfully every year. They give my little refund back, and I leave them folks alone. I do not play with the IRS. Yes, I agree with that. When you start making the money, pay them people. I don't want to hear you be that man on the commercial. They seized all my stuff. He's like ABC. Value taxes. Value taxes. All right. Thank you. These are some great. I appreciate all the feedback you've given me. What is the most common mistake that you've seen a business owner, like, what's the most common mistake you have seen a business owner make?
Not understanding the difference between hustling and a business. A hustler is not a business person. You have to have hustle in you to be successful.
Right.
But understand what a hustler does. A hustler goes day by day to make things work. They plan, but they don't plan because they're so busy trying to make money.
They don't follow through.
But being a business owner is planning. It's planning for the future. So you have to understand it's certain things that you have to put in place, mainly accounting, to make sure you are making a profit on your business, that you're not just spending money and you're not making a profit. So where I see a lot of people messing up is because you're making the money, but as soon as you make it, you're spending it out.
Yeah.
So you're never really netting anything because you got so many expenses, you buying so much stuff that you don't see any money accumulating in your bank account.
Right.
So how is that really helping?
Right. It's not. It's not. You actually hustling yourself into a hole.
Exactly.
So business. It's good to be a hustler, have it driven, but you still need to be a business person, business mindset. Got you. That would just be restaurant owners, and I ain't dogging restaurant owners. They just be taking what they can. Club owners,
Especially clubs.
Yeah, they just whatever thing they got. Something most people don't know about taxes.
At this point, everybody should know about taxes.
They should
file them. I know a big thing that people think. They think if you don't file a W-2 one year, you can add it to the next year.
Okay, yeah, I believe that.
I've heard that so many times.
I believe that. I believe it about that.
It is a reason reason why that W-2 says 2020, 2021, 2019. You have to file that W-2
Right.
in that tax, with that tax year software.
Okay.
You can't add them together. Before it used to work, because the IRS systems weren't what they are
Right.
today, you cannot add
Okay.
previous year's tax on W-2.
You definitely told me something big. Okay, so we can't add them 2 years. You gotta.
You gotta do it separately.
Right. Now I gotta bring you my last year's tax. Because clearly I was gonna hold on to that one. That's good. That is a common. I thought that. Okay, business and personal taxes. So I'm sorry for that. Give our business owners some tips and tricks on what they can do during the year to maximize their return, business and personal taxes.
Okay, the thing about personal taxes with maximizing your returns, what people don't understand is when you get a large refund back at the end of the year, that means that you've let the government keep your money all year long.
So stay under 40,000.
If that's where you want to live at, that's fine. If that's where you want to be for the rest of your life, that's good. Keep on getting that earned income credit. Do whatever you need to do.
That's all I know. I'm so sad. That's all I know.
If that's what you want to do. But some people want to move up.
Yeah.
But it's always good investing in IRAs.
Okay.
If you have a kid that you feel like wants to go to college, invest in an educational plan for them.
Okay.
That's personal and business, because business you can do IRAs for your business too.
Okay. I'm scared of IRAs. It's so scary when you start looking into it.
It's not.
You okay? So, coming from a tax person, I never look into IRA stuff. Nope, my show's over with all that. I don't want nothing to do with that.
But just know that, especially with business owners, when you're doing business taxes, it's certain things you can, like, everything is an expense.
Yeah.
That you use for your business. That going to taking the family on a trip is not a business expense. But when you own a business, your objective is not to pay as much.
Okay.
So you don't really get refunds.
Right.
That
Just file your.
Just file.
Yeah, file so you can stay in the green with the IRS. That's all we really want you to do. Stay in the green.
And save enough money to pay them if you got to pay them during the year. It's easier to accumulate that money during the year than do a lump sum.
Yeah, because what you can make payment plans and go on and pay all your taxes and get it over with. I agree. That makes sense. Legal tax documents every business owner should have. How to obtain those documents?
First, you need your whatever you're forming, whatever type of business you're forming, whether it's an LLC, a corporation, whether it's a sole proprietorship, make sure you have those documents. What I tell partners, please, if you're going into business with someone, I don't care whether it's your sister, brother, mother, cousin, friend, all things fall apart at times.
Right. Under pressure.
You need to have a legal binding document about how you guys are going to split profits, how you're going to split losses, and how, if you guys fall out, how that business is going to be dissolved. Because if you do not have those documents, you are going to be in a world of trouble. And what I tell people is always start a business how you see it in the future. Not how it is now, how you want it to be in the future.
Gotcha.
Because if you see yourself being a multi-million-dollar business, why wouldn't you have safeguards in place to protect your interest in that business?
Right. That makes sense.
And there's no friendships in business.
I'm actually finding that out myself. Like, you cannot mix. I thought that was like, oh, that's a fold, like a field. You can't mix personal business. You can't mix personal business. No matter how much you say. I don't think so. That's my personal opinion, though. I really don't think so, because they support you at the beginning. Y'all rocking and rolling through the milestones, but soon something get hard, or soon the money get good. It's like something just happens. Like it's the devil. The devil just get in the midst of it and just mess it up. But
this is for a whole nother show, but that's how we were socialized from slavery days.
Okay, yeah, and I agree with you on that one. Because that's the same. Yup, crab in the bucket. Yup. But it's not fair to us, because usually if we would have came up with it, somebody will take it from us. So that's another conversation. I agree. Do you charge taxes on services as well as products? But you mentioned you do. If I gotta you gotta look into all those receipts, then you're gonna charge for that.
Yeah, but it's not taxes, but I just charge more for my service.
Okay.
Because I don't have time to go through all those receipts.
Right.
Those are your receipts.
Right.
I just have to verify that but you do have some bookkeepers that do that. I just got too much going on, I'm not gonna do it.
Right. Is there
So,
any other services that you guys offer other than filing taxes?
Nonprofits, starting a nonprofit, because I do have nonprofits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, business starting, taxes, everything has to do with accounting, basically.
That's awesome with the nonprofit. That threw me off. How do you know how much to charge a person for taxes on a product and or services? So do you got a rate when I come in and need to file my taxes?
Okay, so actually, when I first started, I went through H&R Block's list, I went through Liberty, and to see which one was the highest. Liberty, everybody knows, everybody should know, if you choose a major chain, do not do Liberty, they're higher than everybody else.
They're more than $500.
Yes, Liberty is
H&R
higher
Block
than
is probably the
H&R Block
cheapest.
and Jackson Hewitt, so I would
Ooh.
do Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block if you wanna do one of the, larger chains.
I love H&R Block. I got nothing but, put us on for some promo H&R Block. I got nothing but good stuff. I do their surveys and everything. I write them. Y'all so consistent, but them fees.
But I did. I modeled my fees to be less than all of them because I was an independent company when I started. So I just wanted my fees to be less than everyone else. Now, honestly speaking, if I see a person, an elderly person, I don't even charge them.
Right. I appreciate
People that get back less than $500, I'm not charging.
Right.
Because it's only gonna take me about 2 minutes to do your taxes anyway, so I don't feel right.
And
Charging.
sorry for cutting you off. That's actually good marketing and networking. Like, girl, my taxes going up on $500. Tax King did not charge me. Please go file your taxes with them, cause that's good. That's good. That's when I say good customer service, I really believe in that, and that's great customer service. Like, you really look. I got a soft spot, but disabled people, elderly folks, and children. You gotta let no one slide. So I really appreciate you letting the old folks come in here because they already don't know what's going on. Then you got their taxes, at least you ain't taking nothing from them, or like just please spoil your grandbabies and you go about your business. So at least you're not being greedy. That's what's gonna keep you going.
And that is the major thing about any business. And I tell people that start working with me when they first start working with me, do not try to get rich off of one customer.
Yeah.
Understand this. You may get that fee from that customer that one time, but they're gonna go to everybody they know. Don't go to them, they overcharged me, they did this.
Yeah.
So why not charge them a normal price so they can tell everybody they know, man, they did me good over there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna multiply and things will grow exponentially. So don't try to get greedy off of one. Don't try to get rich off of one person.
No need. That gonna follow me because that's how I feel about anything everywhere. Don't try to upsell me. If I tell you what I got, please don't come with nothing else. And then, like you said, it's a courtesy. People will get on your website and leave a bad review versus leaving a good one. They ain't gonna tell how she let 15,000 people come through here. They charge them.
Exactly.
But soon,
You don't tell everything I did for you.
yeah, but soon, some don't go their way. They on her review talking about how they didn't charge her. I had to charge her at this point. So I get what you're saying. So kudos for good customer service. All right, so how do you know how much to charge a person for taxes or even on a product for their services?
Okay, so on products, you are required to charge sales tax.
Oh, okay.
And so that is included in the county that you live in, the state that you live in, and the city that you live in. You're required to give, and this is the quickest way that people go to jail too.
Mm-hmm.
When you start a product business, you're supposed to get registered with the if you're in North Carolina, the North Carolina Department of Revenue for sales and use tax. And when you collect that percentage for sales and use, like you go in the grocery store, you buy milk, you pay sales tax. Most small business owners do not file their sales and use tax returns monthly. So that is stealing. Because what you're doing is you're holding that money for the state of North Carolina when you're selling that product. So say for instance you have a clothing store.
Right.
And you have to charge people taxes at a clothing store.
You do.
But you forget to file a sales and use tax form, and you've been keeping their money for months, years. They don't usually catch up with you after months, but years. They will lock you up. They will come in your store, say you have failed to file your state sales and use tax returns, and you will go to jail.
I did not know how serious sales
It
was.
is very serious.
So
because it's like you're stealing the state's money.
Okay, so recapping real quick. I have candy crab. I'm selling crab leg trays, and I'm selling them for $15. I'm supposed to be actually adding tax to that and providing it to Virginia.
You're supposed to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
a lot of people
monthly on top of that.
Yeah, you're supposed to register it. But a lot of people deal with all cash situations. So you don't supposed to, but a lot of people do because they stay under a certain radar.
Yeah.
Well, like, cause you know, if you go buy plates on the side of the road, nobody charging you a sales tax. But you don't, for one, you really not supposed to be selling plates.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Right. So, first of all, right.
First
We
of
need to
all,
go to that road.
but if you want your business to be legitimate, we're not
Right.
talking about these, we're going to consider these hustling situations,
Okay.
not business.
Okay,
Even though
hustling
you might
situation,
have filed a PPP loan saying you really have a business.
Yeah.
But,
like, you know, talking about supposed to be doing sales tax too. Like, girl, you going to anybody. You going to jail anybody.
so when you do want to start a legitimate business and you're selling a product, you're supposed to register with whatever state you're in with their sales and use tax.
I don't even know where to go, Virginia. We're going to have to look that one up. I'm going to just like, who is regulating the sale?
And Clover is good. Any of those things like Clover, what's the other one? The Square.
Okay.
Because they'll calculate your sales and use tax for you.
Oh,
And
okay.
then Clover, I know for a fact, Clover is really good because they'll print you out. You can print out, and it's mobile. You can carry it with you anywhere.
Yeah.
They'll print you out a receipt that shows how much sales tax you're supposed to pay and everything like that.
I will look into that. All right. Can you briefly describe the difference in filing your business taxes and personal taxes? We probably touched on that a little bit.
It is a difference. It depends on how you start your business. LLC, you file your business on your people don't realize this. The whole benefit of having a regular LLC is that you operate as a corporation, but for tax purposes, you're an individual.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, they used to be really good because you can file all those losses on your personal taxes and it offsets income and you get more money back. But now, because the IRS is so automated, that's not good because, like I said in the beginning, if you don't turn a profit within 3 to 4 years, the IRS is going to look at your business like a hobby.
Right.
So that negates your whole reason for having it on your personal taxes.
Okay.
So what I gear people towards now is having an LLC and electing to be an S corp.
Okay.
And that means your business files its own tax return. It's only one item you put on your personal, but your business has its own separate tax return, and you as an individual have your own separate tax return. The benefits to that is if your business ever gets audited, they can only audit your business.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a regular LLC, you put it on your personal taxes, they're auditing your business, they're auditing you. So every bank account you have, everything you put on your personal taxes, everything is subject to audit by the IRS.
Oh my God, that was really good information. You scaring me with the IRS at this point.
That is the whole thing about business.
Yeah.
Is to not get audited by the IRS.
Right, that's the whole
That
point.
is what you stay away from.
Okay, I appreciate you know you have really filled me in.
Nonprofit.
Okay.
Nonprofit has its own form to file. It's called 940. Yeah, 940. It's nonprofit. So it's just, nonprofit don't go on your personal taxes at all.
Okay.
So it's just the forms. That's the difference.
In regards to a tax return, how from selling from a storefront versus from you selling from your own home?
Okay, with the IRS, again, everything comes back to the IRS. They really do not like you using your home as a business deduction.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Because if you get audited for using your mortgage, because what the people do is they take a percentage of their mortgage or they rent, the lights, the whatever.
Yeah, see, we
utilities
don't
you
play
got in
like that. I literally got to make my product at the house, but I'm not gonna try to use my rent and light bill and all of that to add on to it.
But,
So,
and a lot of people tell them that they can't do that.
okay,
And you really can.
because you're using your house.
Because you're using your house. But if you ever get audited, you have to show the IRS where you have a designated place in your house that you specifically only do this. You don't do anything else. You do not live in that space. You just work in that space.
Okay.
And so they calculate the square footage. They want you to take pictures of that space. To me, unless the only clients I allow to do that are clients that run daycares out of their home.
Right, because that's a real.
Because it's most clients that have daycares in their home have a basement specifically just for that daycare or something in their house specifically for that daycare.
I have a girl that do real estate. She got a trailer outside her house. Like,
Yeah.
yup. She put a trailer outside her house. That, I never realized what was going on to what you just said, and that's why she got the trailer outside. So they don't confuse the two.
Yeah.
But she do all her business in that trailer.
And when you have a storefront, the way the world works now, I would not get a storefront until I had the clientele, the money, and everything else, because you can sell everything over the internet now.
Yeah.
Taxes, I wouldn't trust a tax person that didn't have a location because I don't know where you're storing my stuff at.
Right.
But people do. So my thing, it's a lot of overhead in having a storefront. You have rent, you have insurance, you have lights, you have water, you got phones, you got everything. It's a lot of overhead, and you really can't rent nothing under about $2,000. I don't think. So until you have that clientele for a storefront, I would not take a loan to get a storefront. I would wait until I had the clientele for that. Now, when you do have a storefront, everything is taxed up. Your rent, your lights, everything are your expenses for your business.
Oh, okay.
And leasing is always the best when you want to have tax deduction.
Okay.
Because you can count all that money that you pay them.
As far as doing taxes, the number one question, or to let our viewers know, scamming. How can I stay away from being scammed? Oh, this is what I want to bring up. I followed a social media person. He was doing taxes in Atlanta, and I found out he was taking them people money. And them people went to the BBB bureau and stuff. He got in a lot of trouble, and then he just stopped doing what he was doing there, and he cooking. But I ain't gonna get into that. But I know, well, his was more so of fixing your credit repair. Let me say the right thing, it was credit repair. So my concern is when you're doing taxes, credit repair, that's something like, in 2022, I guess I'm coming to say, how can these people stay away from being frauded, scamming? As you mentioned, older people, I'm really worried about, please come here. And then younger folks who just turned 16, it was my grandma. My grandma was like, go to H&R Dr. Fag Tax, girl, you working there. So I had like someone tell me where to go. But what would you, like 16-year-olds getting their first check, older people who not computer savvy because they're telling you to do everything on the computer, and then just scam and period. Go all out for
Anything that sounds too good to be true is always too good to be true.
That's a fact.
I tell people all the time, tax preparers, tax companies, they wait all year for you to file your taxes come January. They done figured out a scam for everything to come January.
Okay.
So I always feel like, but this is my business model. And I know a lot of it is grace too. I've never come to anyone and asked them to do their taxes.
Right, okay. If they ask you to do
No, but that's not true. Because that's not, you're not a scammer just because I asked you to do
yeah,
taxes.
all right, okay, that's right, that's
The
irresponsible.
reason being is I never wanted to pressure anybody to come to do their taxes. So if someone is hounding you, not just asking you, hounding you, girl, I can get you back this, I can get you back more than your tax repair. Let me tell y'all something. All of our computers do the same exact thing.
Right.
All of our software is supposed to get you the same exact tax refund. The only difference is our fees.
Right.
So if you come to me and I tell you you're getting back $5,000, but you go to such and such, they tell you you're getting back 10, you're going to jail.
Yeah, so that's you're definitely going to jail. Okay, because that's why I'm at. Like, you get all this stuff to somebody, they end up giving you 20 stacks back. You only supposed to get 7. You can't go to the IRS and be like, I didn't know there was a scam.
Because honestly speaking, and this is the IRS releases this every year. They say, research your tax preparer. Research wherever you're going to get your taxes done, because when you sign that return, that's letting you know you're responsible for going to that person.
Yeah.
So even though they may come back and find a tax preparer, you still got to pay that money back.
Okay.
So now that tax preparer done got your money, that PPP person that done filled out that PPP loan for you, they got your $3,000, and you're going to be in trouble.
Okay.
And so it's not worth it. When I tell you people, it is not worth it. Now, it's some things people can do to help you in your tax return,
Right.
but it should not be that. Last year I got back 2,000, and this year my situation ain't changed none. And this person in Rocky Mount, Greenville, Wilson, Atlanta, Miami can get me back 20.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. And
Stay away from
okay. If it's too true, if it sounds too good to be true, then it's not good for you. If you have been getting a regular amount and they was promising you some way more than what you should be getting, you may want to look into somebody else. I agree with all of it. I agree with all of
somebody
it.
tell you they charge you $1,000.
Okay, yeah, or 1,000. So this is my personal question to you. Now, everybody last year and the years prior, because it's been like we've been in COVID for about 2 years now. So we got the unemployment money, and then they just showed off with the unemployment. I never touch unemployment money. They taxed my baby daddy one time. I never, like stuff out of experience, I never play with them people's money. They don't care how long ago it was. If they feel like they overpaid you, they coming back for their money. So I do not play with unemployment. But then here we come with the small business loan. Everybody felt like they had a small business. Everybody technically did have a small business. This is my question. You know, sat down with somebody, they done filed your stuff with the CBA, you got that PPP loan, and they got they gave you the money. You did do what you needed to do, and some people, you did what you needed to do, you put the money into your business, you're doing your business. And then we're here at this time. But then you got the other half of people that took that money and went over for, like, I know people that got 20 stacks and then the money.
That must be the magic number. Everybody I know got
because from what I'm finding out, they bumped their income up in the application so they could make sure they get the 20. Then after they get the 20, I know some people that the funds ran out, so they were stuck, they just got the 20, they were blessed. Then you had people that took the 40, and then they just got greedy, and everybody was taking money. So, the people that took the money, and didn't do right, they go now. Banner mentioned that, hey, we about to get this team together. We about to go through all of that. So now, what steps do you think, based off your experience, is about to happen? Like, I ain't talking about the ones that took the money. They probably put some wrong paperwork in, because I feel like they'll figure that out. They doing right. There's some real documents so in there. But the ones that really fraudulent took the money, didn't do nothing with a business. I mean, jewelry, cars, going to the club, flexing. Those people, if they find their information and they audit them or reach out to them, especially one, I'm sorry I'm over the place with this, but I'm also concerned about the ones that live in public assistance. Like they get
the first ones.
Okay, that's how I feel too. Like EBC too. You say EBC? Okay, so you get food stamps and you get public housing assistance.
But you got a business that you can get $20,000.
But you got a business, you get $20,000. Exactly. So what is really going on? So they're gonna go to them first.
Because they're the easiest to catch.
Mm-hmm.
Because people don't understand. And this is what I told people that tried to come to me to help me. I filled out not one PPP loan application for anybody.
So I was also
not one.
I wonder if there any legit people that were. Did you even apply for a PPP loan?
I did not.
So that's another thing. Like the people that had real businesses, they ain't even really applied. The people that didn't have no businesses. I should have asked my last 3 interviews that too, because a lot of people like, no, I ain't even mess with that.
Now I did do I did the loan.
Right. As you should.
And I guarantee you, I gave them people every last dollar I made. Every last dollar I spent out.
Right.
Because one thing you do not do is play with government. Like, I don't. Hey, I don't do jail. So I'm like, you don't play with the federal government. So understand this. a lot of people don't understand is, back in the day, all these systems were not connected.
Right.
Medicaid, EBT, Section 8, the IRS has access to all these records.
Right.
So all they have to do is do a filter about the people that got a PPP loan,
Right.
and people that get EBT, Medicaid, or what was that? Section 8.
So, yeah. Every time I see an IRS letter come in the mail,
So-
my heart drops. I ain't gonna lie. I'm so nervous. I'm gonna talk for myself. I'm so nervous right now. I don't know what to do. I think I might have. I played devil's advocate, but I prayed to God, Jesus, please. So all I got is prayer with me right now. So look, where I'm at right now is I'm looking into an attorney, and my nerves so toe up. But I feel like for me speaking for myself, I did it and did what I needed to do with it. Like, the numbers might be a little off, but I did what I needed to do with it. I don't get a lot of assistance, so I don't feel like I'll be in the red for that. But
But it's going to be different, in my opinion. It's going to be different.
I feel like I have to pay a fine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in some type of
Because you
payment.
sign at the end of the application, you sign a statement saying, I certify that the information I give.
It's correct. I know exactly. That's what I'm praying to God, because I'm like, Lord, please let these people don't lock me into these federal. But what also though, I still did everything the right way. I still filed it so it can be forgiven. I feel like a lot of people ain't do that. They already gave you the free money.
But honestly speaking, that might have been better not to file to forgive it and to pay it back than to have it forgiven and you've done illegal information.
So you said that's what's worse. To get
To get it forgiven, yes, because you're not paying them back.
Right, they the money. But
Now, if you say I'm gonna pay you back the money I fraudulently took from you, that's making a step.
Okay, so when I did that too, they gave me a green check. Some people in my group were saying like, no, they did have to pay a few stacks or so. I thought I was good to go. Lord, please do it. That's what I've been doing, just praying. That's what I've been doing, just praying.
A lot of people
But no, I know I would take full responsibility because I know what I did. I told God I can't play. I let them have unemployment this whole time. I'm gonna give me some of this. So when I prayed to God, I did know what I was doing was wrong. So hopefully He has some type of mercy on me.
And that's all you can do.
Yeah. But my last final question to that though. Could I come to you to get some assistance, or you not dealing with no
I'm good.
Okay, you say. Okay,
Just pray. That's the best thing.
That's
There's really
okay.
nothing you can.
Just wait.
Kind of, sort of, but like, yeah.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure people told us too.
Especially,
I heard folks turning folks in.
That's the crab in the barrel mentality, because one thing I would never do
Was
is tell anybody. It's tax preparers that because you make $10 more than them, they call the IRS and say this person is doing. I didn't have it happen to me.
Wow, so you
when I
have
first
tax
got it.
issues?
So it's
that's
that crab and the barrel bucket, whatever y'all are, mentality, because I got audited. When was this? Probably about 10 years ago. And I know it's a tax preparer that called because they felt like I was making all the money.
Yeah.
And to me that's sad, because if you got 2 million people in the city, I can't do everybody's taxes.
And I
You
ain't
can't
doing
do everybody's taxes.
Yeah.
So who cares? But understand what you tried to do didn't work, because I had all my paperwork fine, so we were fine.
Yeah.
But this was years ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, but to me, people should never call people. Anybody, that's one of the things that no snitching really should matter.
Yeah, that's what it comes to. I feel like that too. I mean, come on now. Come on, certain
You
stuff
probably
we
did
can
something wrong to get yours too.
Right, everybody did something wrong. Nobody did nothing right. Nobody did nothing right. It was
Because if you use that money to buy any type of inventory, you did wrong anyway.
Yeah, see.
Because you were supposed to use it to retain employees, because 9 times out of 10 people say they have
I
about
paid
4 or 5
employees.
employees.
I paid employees. I did. I cut myself a check and I put the rest of the way I need to go to. I cut checks.
So, like I told people when they came to me asking me to do it for them, most of my clients that came to me talking about, what is this about the SBA giving money? I said, do you know what the SBA stands for? And they say, yeah, Small Business Administration. I said, do you have a business? And they was like, no. I said, so how does that apply to you?
Because I have a hobby.
Okay, Okay, Brandi, I see what you're saying.
Okay, yeah.
But the other half of the people that actually may have had somewhat of a business, I told them, I said, understand this. I don't know if anybody remember years ago, Hurricane Fran came through here. This was back in 1996, something like that. This is what I know about.
Mm-hmm.
And this was back before I had my son, so 1996, whatever. Hurricane Fran came, lights was out for a week. People went down to the food stamp office. That's when they still actually had food stamps.
Ooh, no.
So all you had to do is write on the paper, I got 10 people living in my house.
Right.
They gonna give you 5,000 food stamps because it's an emergency.
Right.
So FEMA is just gonna give you, they not verifying.
Right, they just giving you.
When I tell you I got a call from them a year later saying, okay, now you need to verify how all these people say, I put 5 names.
Yeah.
Right. One at a time. Right. But they said you gotta verify to me how you can prove all these people stay in your house. But luckily the systems weren't where they were, so I never called them back. So they really didn't have no way to do it. But now what I tell people, the government will give out money easily when it's an emergency. Mm-hmm. But understand, they're going to come back and audit all that money they gave out, and if your stuff don't line up, you better pray you fall through the cracks. Yeah. But all the people living in public housing that probably live right next door to each other that got all these $20,000, $30,000 loans.
As soon as the first letter comes, they're going to tell them.
Well, he got it too.
Yup, no, as soon as the first letter comes, it's going to be a domino effect. They ain't going to have to do no investigation.
But I pray.
Yeah, I pray too.
Everybody listen that did do it. And
yeah, like me. I have learned my lesson. I was just trying to live, Lord. I appreciate you answering that question. That was my personal question. Can you list all your social media platforms that you're on, or how to get in contact with you?
Honestly speaking, I don't do social media like that.
Okay. Business person, this is the way you got to email.
I do have a Facebook.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm 43. It's Tax King Raleigh. Reason being because, like I said, I believe in old school. Right. Honestly speaking, and I know it's a lot of benefits in new school, but word of mouth, I've tried radio ads, everything. Word of mouth has been my biggest money maker ever.
Right.
And so I like to have that personal contact with people, so they can say, well, I can say, I need your mama, your uncle, your grandpa, your daughter, your granddaughter. Right. That's what I like.
Yeah.
So I don't. Okay. But it's Tax King Raleigh on Facebook. And I might respond.
Please come to these people's office. Because clearly that's what's going on here. I really, really enjoyed this interview. I think I'm going to mark this as my favorite interview. I appreciate you giving us the business, Tanny. All right. Thank you for answering all those questions for me today. Giving you the business have enjoyed this interview. This is my top 1 interview now. I also want to leave off asking, is there any black establishments you want to shout out?
Smoked Out Turkey Barbecue.
All right. And yourself, is there any products you want to throw at us other than Tax King?
Blue Dragon Sweepstakes, Pool Road. Even though it appears to be the hood, we're very well protected down there.
And I support that. Well protected.
Every black business that operates as a real business, I don't use a lot of products, so it's not a lot because I don't do lashes and all that stuff like that. So, Diamond Cuts Barbershop.
Okay.
Right there.
She shining them out.
Yeah, just one thing I can say, whether you're black or white or Mexican, whatever you are, go after your dreams. Never be afraid to fail, because you will never know how to succeed if you don't fail. Follow your dreams, because they will lead you far.
Thank you. Again, we are at Tax King in North Carolina today. This is your girl, world famous Candace V, and this is Giving You the Business. See you next.
Check us out on YouTube, Facebook at Giving You the Business, and on Instagram at GYTB Live. Giving